We are beautifully, melanated.
Welcome to the Beautifully Melanated podcast. I am your host, Sarah, and I'm here once again with my lovely co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Karen.
And I'm Kay, and welcome to another episode. So, ladies, I'm going to go straight into what in the world this week. So much has happened. I could have picked 3 or 4 topics, but I've settled on the one that's most topical at the moment. Although at the beginning of the week, I thought I'd talk about the Horniman Museum returning artifacts to Nigeria. No, I'm going to talk about the exchange between Lady Susan Hussey and Ngozi Fulani from Sister Space, and have our views on that conversation. So, a few episodes ago, we talked about how British we felt or not. And I asked, do you feel British? We were talking about our heritage. So basically this week, Camilla, the Queen Consort, she held an event at Buckingham Palace, and it was part of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And so Sister Space, the charity, they were invited because Sister Space is a charity that supports African and Caribbean women who are affected by domestic and sexual abuse. Really important charity. And they do this because they want to, and I'm reading from their website here, through their work, they aim to ensure that cultural barriers and biases are removed and that service users are given equal opportunity from them and any other agency they go to for help. So they are the experts on the intersectionality of racism and gender-based violence. And that's what the charity does, and you can donate to them. So Sister Space was invited along to this event because of the work they do. At the event, there was an exchange between Ngozi Fulani and Lady Susan Hussey. Now, I didn't know who she was until this event happened. She was the Queen's lady in waiting, actually, for years and years. She's 83 years old now. And she was assigned actually to help Meghan to adjust to royal life when she married Prince Harry. She also is the godmother to Prince William. So this is the exchange, ladies. I'm going to read it out for you. So Lady Susan Hussey says to Ngozi, "Where are you from?" She says, "Sister Space." "No, where do you come from?" She says, "We're based in Hackney." "No, what part of Africa are you from?" Ngozi says, "I don't know. They didn't leave any records." And she says, "Well, you must know where you're from. I spent time in France. Where are you from?" She says, "Here, UK." "No, but what nationality are you?" Ngozi says, "I am born here and I'm British." "No, but where do you really come from? Where do your people come from?" She says, "My people? Lady, what is this?" She says, "Oh, I can see I am going to have a challenge getting you to say where you're from. When did you first come here?" Ngozi says, "Lady, I am a British national. My parents came here in the 50s when..." And Lady Hussey says, "Oh, I knew we'd get there in the end. You're Caribbean." She says, "No, lady, I am of African heritage, Caribbean descent, and British nationality." And she says, "Oh, so you're from..." And this is where the exchange is cut off on Twitter, which is where I saw this exchange. There has been quite a kerfuffle and a fallout about this because some are saying it's not racist for her to have asked where she come from. There are excuses made for Lady Hussey from, she can't be racist because her husband had one leg. Yes, I know. I don't know what that's got to do with anything. That one didn't make me chuckle. I couldn't say that with a straight face. Yes, her husband had one leg, so she can't be racist. And
Okay.
then this morning it was, she can't be racist because she goes to church every Sunday, and the church where she goes to is 90% Black. The congregation is 90% Black, so she can't be racist. Then it was said she had hearing problems, lots of excuses being made. Ladies, what are your thoughts? How would you have felt about that exchange if you were Ngozi Fulani?
Right. So this lady, Hussey, whatever, she sounds very much like some of the people when I grew up. I've had a lot of this. Where are you actually from? I think I've said before when we did that episode about date. We've done an episode or something, and I have mentioned before about men that have said, "Where are you from?" No, where are you really from? And I used to say, well, I'm from Southampton. They're like, no, seriously. We're like, well, yeah, I was actually born in Leeds. No. Where are you actually from? So I've had this a lot in my life. I don't know if I thought it was. I think Lady Hussey is being racist, but when it happened to me, I just felt it was just pure ignorance to the max. I think it sounds like this Lady Hussey is a very old kind of ignorant lady. I don't think she realizes maybe her own ignorance, apart from the end. When you said at the end, Kay, well, we'll get there in the end. When she said that I thought was wrong. So when the conversation started, you could just be thinking that, is this an ignorant older lady? But I have had a lot of experience of where you're actually from. People often speak like that. I don't know if it's because I was a Black girl in a very white area I wasn't surprised when someone says, no, but where are you actually from? That was just, it was what it was. That's often how I was spoken to. So
Sarah, can I ask, who was asking the question? White men, Black men, all men?
All men. I didn't have much of it. I, funny enough, didn't have those questions really much from white men. It was mainly from Black men and older people. It might have been, I've had when I was a child, I remember, not a child, maybe a young teenager, I'd have like my parents' friends, like older couples, I'd awful at some things, like someone said, oh, I see you've got a tan. Excuse me? Are you totally stupid? But obviously I couldn't say that because I was about 12, Right. I could have said now, I'd be like, you absolutely, But so I'm just wondering if Lady Hussey has been around these kind of old school certain type of people where she thinks that's okay just to ask these questions. And if you haven't said the bit at the end, Kay, when you said about, we'll get there in the end, and your people, like, excuse me, what do you mean my people? Who the hell are you? Exactly. If you want to go there, I will go there, and you're not going to like it. So yep. So I think those two comments made me feel that, okay, this isn't just an unknowing, ignorant older lady. This is someone with some kind of motive here, and it made me feel quite uncomfortable when you said those last two things. So, I think the lady, I forget her name. I'm sorry that she said this too. That lady
Ngozi Fulani.
Yes, I think she obviously conducted herself in a very patient manner. I think I'd have had to breathe incredibly deeply for this one. When she said your people, I'd have been like, what? That would have that would have made my blood boil. But all I'm saying is this is not the first time I've heard this, because I've had this said to me a few times. So Karen.
So do you accept any of the excuses, Sarah? She's old. She's of a different era.
No. Her husband has one leg. What the hell is that to do with being racist?
I mean, that was funny.
Her husband has one leg, so that'll be different if it's like her Black husband or something. But but even then, I've even got something to say about that. Then, even if she has one, anyway, exactly. That's a whole other story. But so her husband has a disability. So whoever said that must be also ignorant, because there's a difference, isn't there, between a disabled person and an issue with, racism and culture. Like, what? What's a one-legged husband to do with racism? It's ridiculous. She goes to a Black church. So what? That's not.
It's a church in Kensington. How can a church in Kensington, St. Agnes, possibly be 90% black?
I don't
Can
know.
we all respect ourselves here?
I think they tried to get her out of it. I think they tried to quickly get this older lady out of it because I think she has dug herself a bit of a hole here. Will she get away with it? I think so. Yep.
She resigned.
Oh, really?
She resigned as soon as it came out, as it was posted on
Right.
Twitter. She resigned. And at 83, I wonder why you were still working anyhow.
Yes,
But okay.
totally.
Yeah, she resigned immediately. And so the rage that's being directed against Sister Space and Ngozi in particular has been putrid and quite ugly. Yeah. Karen.
Okay.
Right, so I think you've covered it really. She is of a certain era where, you know, she is ignorant, right? Let's call a spade a spade. A lot of ignorance there. You can hear that in her comments and the way that she was persistent. However, ignorance, as you quite rightly say, is no excuse. And it doesn't excuse being racist. I don't care how many legs a husband has or doesn't have. And frankly, you can have a black husband and still be racist.
Absolutely.
So the two are not necessarily, they don't go together. I think that we justify a lot of crap from people by saying, they don't know and they're this. And I appreciate that she doesn't know, but we are in 2023 and she is in the public and she is a civil, I don't know what you call that. She's in the royal household. She needs to know better.
We're in 2022, Karen.
Oh, not yet. We're not
yet.
I'm racing ahead. I'm racing ahead. Look at me, a couple of months ahead. Yeah, so she needs to know better. I think that, there's no excuse for it. However, I do have quite a curious mind when it comes to where people are from. I don't know. I'm just interested. I guess I'm interested in where people originate from, or not even originate, but like where people's heritage might be coming from. That's just something that I find I might ask. But I guess because I'm a black woman, I don't suppose it would come across as being racist. I generally just have an interest. So if I'm working with children at school and they talk about, their backgrounds and things happening for them, I often, in conversation, I won't necessarily ask directly, but I am intrigued to know where parents are from, or if grandparents are from somewhere different. But I guess
that's different, though. That's different, Karen, because I think if you're a black woman asking another black woman, okay, what about, if you hear someone talking different dialects, I'll be interested. Oh, whereabouts is the dialect from? Oh, it's, this dialect. Like, that's okay, cool. But if I said, whereabouts is the dialect from? And they're like, oh, I'm from Hackney or something. I'll be like, okay, cool. Just leave it at that. I don't know what
asked her 7 times.
That's you just leave it.
She kept saying no. Where in Africa are you from? No. Where are your people from? 7 times.
Where are your people from?
I think
Africa. What? Come on.
I think it was rude, actually, more than anything else. Because if you ask somebody something and quite clearly they're giving you an answer, just because you don't like that answer doesn't mean that you should be persistent. And clearly she didn't like the answer that she was given, and therefore she felt that she needed to repeat the question several times.
I think she got it wrong, because what part of Africa are you from? For a start, like you might not be at all. This is a massive grand assumption that all black people. Okay, yes, I know you could say we all are from Africa, but in the beginnings. But if someone was born in Barbados, and they're Bayesian, and then suddenly you're telling me that I'm Nigerian, like you got to get your facts straight.
But the lady then said, didn't she? She said, "Oh, I get it. You're from the Caribbean."
She said, "Oh, I knew we'd get there in the end. You're Caribbean."
Yeah.
And she says, "No, I'm of African heritage, Caribbean descent, and British nationality." The implication, however, from the third no, where are you from, is you can't possibly be from here. That's the implication. She's clearly saying, we're in Hackney. No, but where are you from? She says, I'm British national. why are you after that? Shouldn't that be the end of the conversation?
Yeah,
but it's the idea that you cannot be black and British.
No.
That keeps coming up.
I think, hold on, I'm just trying to unpick this, right? Obviously, you can be black British. I am black British, as are you, right?
Well, not so, according to Lady Hussey, you're not.
But what I'm saying is, what I think is it Lady Hussey?
Hussey as in a hussy, a trollop.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay.
Right. So what I think she was trying to ask is, where is your heritage? That's what she was trying to ask, wasn't it?
Yes.
So perhaps, so would it have been better if she had said, I do understand that you're black British, but are your grandparents from another country?
Yes, exactly. Not when did you come here? When did you come here? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the way that she asked it was highly inappropriate, and she persisted, which was just very, very rude.
Yeah.
But I get it. I guess what she was trying to find out is, where are her sort of full parents from, or whatever, yeah? But she just asked in a very, very rude, inappropriate way that was racist.
Yeah, it was. I mean, by the fourth time you're asking me, I'm breaking out in patois. I couldn't keep, like, where you asked me, say, me not answer you already, what? You asked me the same thing over again, yeah, idiot? Me answer you, me come from Hackney, or with that woman, yeah, man. That's where I would have gone with it. Like, what are you? You're deaf? Your ears not bored? I'd be rude. But even further than this, Karen, I would not have found myself at Buckingham Palace in the first place. Like, it's not a place for us. It has never been well for us, considering what they represent, the monarchy, right? So you go there and you're recognized as a charity for your work. I could see why she was in her professional role.
I understand why she went. Yeah.
And which is why she said, I'm from Sister Space, because it's a professional thing. And I think she actually touched her locks as well, which is, if she was even going to church with black people, she would know that's not a thing. But, it was so intrusive. And she was dressed in traditional African clothes as well. Mm-hmm. And so I think the justification was, well, you were dressed in African garb and you look African. Therefore, I have a right to ask you where in Africa you're from.
Okay.
But if someone says, actually, we're based in Hackney and I'm a British national, shouldn't the conversation end there?
Exactly.
So could she have asked in another way to get the information that she so clearly
I think she could have.
I think she asked inappropriately. Do you not think? So, for example, I've been in a situation where someone said to me, oh, it's really cold. I bet it's really nice and hot where you're from. I said, well, it's just as cold in Bristol.
It is just as cold in Bristol.
It is. So that shut them down. But I know what they were alluding to. I know what they were saying.
We all know what they were alluding to. We've all had it. But because I wasn't born here, when people ask me, I know exactly what they're asking. So I say Jamaica, I don't name a place in England. Or I say I'm from the Caribbean because I know what they're asking. But everybody knows how black people came to be in England.
But the thing is, for you were born in another country. Whereas if they'd asked me that, my parents are from Jamaica and I consider myself to be Jamaican to a point, but I would say I'm British. That's how I see myself. I am black British.
So she had said, where are you from? And you said Bristol. And she kept asking, no, but where are you really from? What would you have said?
I would say, oh, you mean my parents? Okay, my parents are from Jamaica. That's what I would have said.
Yeah.
It's just some things. I remember I went to a party once and there was a girl my age, a white girl, my age at the time. I'm about 25, 26. We were all dancing. I remember she just looked at me and said, wow. She said, you guys can really dance. You guys have always really got moves. And I don't know. I don't even know what I said to her. I think I just carried on dancing and drinking or something. But that was ignorance. That wasn't. I don't find. Yes, it was a bit racist, but I don't. But she was. I don't think she meant to be nasty. It was just ignorant. She just came out and she just thought black people can dance, and she was trying her best to kind of shimmy on down on the sofa. But
I'd probably say yes, we can. We're amazing, aren't we? I'd probably say
damn right. Get up here and dance with me. You know? Stop shaking your shoulders on the sofa and actually get up and dance with me. But
there is a dark side to this story, and unfortunately it comes from our own people. So there are a few racial gatekeepers here who would have done really well as house slaves, and I say that with every intent that I mean it, who have started to attack the charity and Ngozi in particular. They've launched a smear campaign against her. These are Black people. So they've dug around and found that, oh, she's not even African. That's not her name. Her name is Marlene Headley. She changed her name, so she's appropriating African culture. And I just find the ignorance in that. It's just disgusting because she chose not to keep the names that were forced on us by the colonizers, and she changed it to her African name. And that other Black people are using that as a way to attack her is disgusting. And these are people who have a platform, have a voice, and I wonder what they hope to get from that.
So can I just ask? Yeah, actually, that was my question. Why did they attack her? So what was because
she put the conversation on Twitter, and it gathered momentum. Lady Hassie she resigned. William and Kate are in America on a tour. They hadn't even landed in Boston when the news broke, and that she was fired, resigned, whatever. And so in defense of her, they're saying she wasn't gracious and she shouldn't have made the story public.
Oh, I see. So they feel that she was wrong to have gone public, and that this Lady Hassie was not being racist, and therefore she blamed abortion. Okay. So it's interesting because I have two sisters and one brother who have changed their names to African names. And like I say, my parents are Jamaican. So I have a sister, well, like I say, two sisters. They have, I would say, quite European sounding names, and they've changed those names to African names. And in fact, one of my sisters has a daughter called Ngozi.
All right.
Yeah. So they've officially changed their names, both first and second, and gave their children African names because they felt that that was right for them. They wanted names that represented who they are. So that's really interesting, and I've never heard anyone sort of say, "Oh, we're appropriating African culture."
I know, it's our heritage. You're reclaiming your heritage rather than you're appropriating it.
That's very interesting.
Because if you do your DNA ancestry, which I've done, I'm 29% Nigerian. And I'm 78% West African. So I'm not appropriating anything. If I should change from a very white name to my ancestral name, I wouldn't be appropriating. It would more be a reclaim.
But it's just really, really, really weird to me that they've said that. I think that's just an attack because that doesn't make any sense, does it?
I know, which is why I call them house slaves. Because they would rather defend the oppressor than spend time with their own heritage and history. Then they've come up with a story that she's defrauded the charity, she's stolen money from the charity. It's all very, very ugly.
Wow, that's really bad. Oh my goodness.
She's under it at the moment, which I think as a positive pushback, we should all donate to Sister Space. Because I don't know of any other charity that specifically supports Caribbean and African women who are escaping domestic violence and sexual abuse.
They're such a good charity. Wow. Gosh. I'm just really surprised by that. And are those claims that she has defrauded the charity completely unfounded?
Probably. Because, people are going to say things on Twitter that they haven't researched. But basically the rage is, it wasn't racist. The woman was just asking a question. She shouldn't have said anything about it. And anyway, the usual. Why don't you leave then? If you don't like it here, why don't you leave? The usual.
That wasn't what she was saying, though. She wasn't saying she doesn't like it here. She just said that the way that the woman asked the questions was racist.
It was. The pylon, the Black people in the pylon is what I cannot understand. Look how long ago Bob Marley sang that song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Come on. It's ugly. So I would love to invite our listeners to donate to the charity, because if one of us, God's willing, we never do find ourselves in need of refuge, it would be nice to have one that is reflecting our culture. Because we could go in white refuges. Who's going to care about our culture and the way we do things? It's not done. This is a really special charity. And it makes me sad that Black people have joined in on the pylon because she dared to say, and I think that's what the rage is, she dared to speak up. She shouldn't have. She should have kept silent. But isn't that what we've been doing for how many years? Keeping silent.
Oh. And to be fair, you know, we could have used this really positively and said, okay, so people in the rural household, you know, perhaps this isn't the way to approach anyone, or, you know, if you have a question, there are more appropriate ways of going about it. We could actually learn something from this, actually, couldn't we? I just think it's really unfortunate that we've made it, that we've just sort of, I don't know, hounded this woman and made it such and attacked her so negatively, really.
It's not what she wanted. She literally said on her tweet, yes, the person was offensive, but it serves no purpose to name and shame her. It would make us just as bad. We would like that this be handled kindly. What she was saying is, saying the lady's ignorant is not enough. Buckingham Palace needs to actually educate its staff around the language, the use of language, the understanding of culture and all of that. That's what she was calling for. And then it turned into this whole...
Yeah. That's a real shame, because actually I think what she asked for would have been that's right. That would have been helpful. It would have, because they meet so many different nationals, don't they? They meet so many different people. And I think it would have been a lesson learned, but we've unfortunately turned it into something quite different.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, isn't it?
So yeah, that's my What's in the World this week. So if you have a chance, look at their website. If you have some extra cash, donate. It's Christmas. Let me not go there. Just let's support the charity where we can. So Karen, you're going to introduce our topic this week.
Yes, thanks, Kay. So this week's topic is hair. Yes, something I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time, actually. So I went to a party last weekend, and you know, the DJ says something like, you know, all the natural women, if you know, say, your hair feel. If you don't have no false eyelash and whatever, put your hand up. So I was quite tentative. I was like, should I raise my hand? But there were people in there with braids who were waving. I thought, hold on, no. Girl, put your hand down. Expressions is not natural. Stop it.
But their hair is underneath the expressions.
My hair is underneath the ponytail. What's the point? What's your point?
I don't know, what was his point? What was the DJ referring, I wonder?
So he was just saying, they say that a lot. They say things like, you know, if you're natural, if you're, you know, put your hand up, like, you know, you should be proud if you don't need any extras and you can go out there and, you know, be a natural woman, raise your hand. But I think, really, come on. Yes, I think hair changes. I never have the same hair because I'm lucky. I can change my hair. It is a hairstyle. I am not trying to be a European white woman. I couldn't be further from that. I just like changing and experimenting with hair. I might have a weave or a lace front. I might have braids. I might have a ponytail. I might have, you know, cornrows. I could have whatever. It's changeable. It's just about expressing myself and how I'm feeling, my mood. Sometimes my hair styles change because maybe I've done so much rubbish with it. Actually, it needs repairing, right? So I might put braids in while it grows back, or I might put a weave in, or it could be anything. I get it. Do I want my children to relax their hair? No, I don't, because relaxer is a very, very strong chemical. I think that it's not something that I would want to put in my children's hair. But when they're adults, if they want to straighten their hair, that's really down to them. I would probably, to be fair, my eldest daughter doesn't want to do that. And she does tend to go for more sort of natural looking styles But that's her choice. And I just think, I don't know, it's a balance, isn't it? I want my children to have a really healthy appreciation and love for themselves, their 4C textured hair, whatever. That's really important. But I also want them to feel free to experiment, explore, try different things. I don't know, ladies, am I reading too much into this? But it really does get me going when they say, wave your hand if you're natural. Oh, please.
Sorry, Karen, that does make me laugh. So did you raise your hand in the end? Did you?
No.
So you're saying you were unnatural. That's what you're saying.
No, do you know what? I did raise my hand because to me, I am natural. I am natural. My hair is not relaxed. It is in its natural texture. And so, yeah, I did raise my hand. I did. But it makes me laugh.
Yeah, I think it's interesting about the whole natural thing, a natural woman. Well, I am a natural woman, a bit like what you said, Karen. My relationship with hair is I love creating different styles of my hair. So sometimes I go to the hairdressers. I've currently got a weave, but I also have braids. I could, I love to do my own style. I can do twists. It depends how I feel. I might want to weave this week, but next month I might want braids, and I might want, I don't know, red braids or burgundy braids. And then next week I might want a blonde weave. Like, that's what I love about my hair. And the main thing for me is I keep my natural hair healthy as well. So I am just as confident in long box braids as I am with a weave. I just like hair, and I like to express myself through my hair. And I always have. I've always loved hair. I think the only time I haven't expressed myself through my hair is when I was in a very toxic relationship where I felt that I couldn't express myself through my hair. And then when that ended, I just literally, if I'd had a wig bank or something, whatever those people have, like 200 wigs in it and weaves in it, I'd do that. I'd have switched almost every single week, just because I like it. Because sometimes I just want to have, a kind of blonde pin curls, and sometimes I haven't done that yet, but I will. And then sometimes, I just want a kind of long dark style. But I don't think you always have to be natural. But I think you have to also you have to not hate your natural hair. That's the thing, and use these kind of styles to kind of experiment with different kind of looks. So for my daughter, she sees me with lots of different styles. And sure, she wants braids now, the long braids and all that. But at the same time, she's cool when we look at natural styles, and together we look after her hair. So and I talk to her about, how you talk to your children about skin and, ourselves as Black people, so she also embraces her hair. That's what I want for my daughter. So I honestly think life is too short. I really do. If you want to go and get a blue braids and it makes you happy, do it, because you never know how long you've got on this earth. And honestly, I think if you want to get blue braids, do it. If you want to cut all your hair off, and dye whatever you've got left blue, do that too. Do whatever makes you happy. That's what I say about hair. I think I use it as a tool for just uplifting myself. So yeah, that's my feelings about hair. I think people shouldn't take themselves so blooming seriously, personally.
Well, you know what, Sarah, I think, and Karen, I think the DJ was lying. And I tell you why I say that. Men can be really disingenuous. They'll say they'll prefer the natural look. But do they really? And what is this natural look? Because there's no one monolith for natural hair. So my hair, I go to the barber's. It's shaved close to my skull. I love short hair. I get excited to go to the barber's. I don't want to grow my hair long. I've had my long hair phase. Relaxed, yes. Oh my God. Do you remember putting rollers in your hair, any of you? The big yellow rollers and trying to sleep in them?
I never did that. That was Karen. I never did that. No, too uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. Yeah, so uncomfortable. Just to hold a little curl. And the things we would go through. And women at the time who were wearing natural hair in Jamaica were ridiculed and considered unkempt and not groomed enough. if your hair wasn't relaxed and look Eurocentric. Now, I cannot tell you how many comments I've had on my hair from men. Yes, it is my natural hair, it is my natural curls, but it's short, so now they want it long. I don't want it long. But, then they're like, oh, but, put a little something in there and to look more feminine. Well, I feel feminine. My hair doesn't define me. I'm definitely in the Ari song, I am not my hair. I am not my hair. It's just hair. It will grow. I will cut it. I will color it. I will braid it. I will put fake locks in. It doesn't really matter. But if we're doing it for the male gaze, we are going to have all sorts of problems because they don't know what they want. And they complain about everything. The most criticisms I've had from men from my hair is when it's in its natural state and short.
That is really interesting. That is interesting because you're right. They do go on and on about natural hair. And you're right. I do question, when you say natural, do you want me to have my natural afro out? Do you want me to, what do they mean when they say natural? Are braids natural to them? Does it matter what the texture is? So if I were of mixed heritage and my hair was somewhat smoother, that'd be okay. So when they say natural, I find it very, very confusing. I'm not sure that they know what they mean. And I'm also not sure that they're being honest.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's just a trend to say, look, we want you to look a certain way. We want our Black women to look a certain way. And then when you look that way, you get criticized by another sect who will say, well, you're wearing Peruvian hair and Mexican hair. And what about your own hair underneath? Be proud of your heritage. So you shave it all off. Oh, yeah, not that low. No, put back on something. We want long flowing hair. Okay. Yeah. Our hair grows out and up. It's the magic of Black hair.
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
Doesn't fall down.
It doesn't grow down.
Said, if you can be playful and creative with it, why not? I can't wait to see the pink hair, Sarah. I'm about to go blonde.
Oh, blonde would be lovely.
Platinum.
Yeah.
Platinum blonde.
Yeah, that would be
like
nice.
Marilyn Monroe or something would do.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And with big
Marilyn.
hoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Marilyn Monroe. That'd be hot.
Yeah. But there will be someone out there going,
my mother, probably.
My mother, too.
I went blonde. Well, I did do a blonde braids once. She goes, yeah, she says, that doesn't suit you at all. I said, I don't care what you think about this. It's not your hair.
Well, my mother hates my short hair because why do I look like a man? I've been told I look like a lesbian, too, by the way. I'll take that.
That's interesting. What does a lesbian look like?
Yeah,
short hair. You go to the barber and you're faded and you have a part in your hair.
I don't know though, because I know lots of women who've got short hair, dyed often. Like you say, that sort of blonde look, really short. But I don't know. I don't think that would strike me as looking like a lesbian necessarily. Well, not to me, it doesn't. But
maybe I look butch, ladies. Would you tell me?
No, you're not butch. Because, no.
Say that. No, I wouldn't.
No, you're not butch.
Well, thank you. But it's just, that's what I'm saying. The most criticisms I've had from men, it's my hair in its natural state. So they lie.
What do they want, Kay? What do they want you to, have you asked them? What do they want?
Yeah, they want it long. And they don't matter what length, what makes it long, whether it's braids or weaves. And these are black men. Do I braid it, weave it, whatever, as long as it's long.
Oh, but I find that men don't like weaves. The amount of men that have said they don't really like weaves.
What don't they like about it?
I guess it's the feeling of it that you can, like, if you ever touched it, you're not feeling scalp and hair, are you? You can feel tracks underneath, and maybe it's that, I don't know what they don't like.
But you know what, Karen, do you think that? Because I don't know about that. I'm not sure. Because they seem to really love, I mean, I've never worn a lace front wig, but they seem to really love that aesthetic of a long lace front wig. I am partial to some eyelashes occasionally, you know what I mean? But they seem to love that. So I don't know what they're kind of talking about here. Because if someone's got a long lace front wig on it, on them, then the touching of the wig, I don't know. I don't think men
That's
like wigs.
too
I think men like
hot.
the look of wigs. I think they like the look of it.
Right.
But I don't think they like the idea of like, a wig in the bedroom. I don't think a man would want that.
They don't like a bald head neither. So it's not a
No.
scalp thing, Karen. Because they can reach my scalp right here.
So what is it then? Do you think so? Is it the wig they don't like, or the weave? Did you say? What is it? What is it about the wig that? What, because it can
I'd
come
say
off?
wig. No, because it's just all encompassing, isn't it? If you've got a wig on, and it's say you have a lace front wig on, for argument's sake, then you've just covered all of your hair. And I think men like the aesthetic of a woman with a lace front wig on.
Right.
But I think when you going to the bedroom, I'm not sure they'd like that, because what do you do with that? Can't touch it, really. It's if you do, it'll be all, not plasticky. No. No.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Well,
I don't mind the lace front, but I the aggressive baby here is no, stop. Please. This is like, no.
That's why that's why when I have my weave, I always have a natural leave out, because I have a paranoia about the lace. I just don't want that. I need to see my own scalp. But then that also has its disadvantages, because you've got to be very careful and not to put too much heat on your leave out. But then you can be like, oh, well, you're not slicking it back. But who cares if my leave out's slightly different than that? I'm not fooling anyone. I'm not saying that this weave is my natural hair. Yes, my leave out and my weave match, thank God. You know what I mean? But I would never fry my natural hair to get it blended into. I don't care.
That's a really interesting point, Sarah, that you've raised. I'm not trying to pretend it's mine. You know it's not.
Right.
I'm not trying to fool you, I promise. Right? That's the other thing. I feel like, it's as if I'm cheating, or no, I'm not. It's a weave, and you know it is.
Yeah. But so many people have this. Like when I went to the hairdresser the other day, most people that came in there were white people asking for wigs and extensions.
What?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah.
And if you think about people on stage, or look at someone like Dita Von Teese. I love Dita Von Teese. She's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
The amount of wigs that woman has. You know what I mean? People don't go on stage with their own hair. So many. I think it feels like now, whatever race you're from, you're going to want a wig. That's what it feels like now. The whole world is wearing wigs.
Because of the aesthetic. It's the look.
Everyone wants them.
And it's convenient, I suppose. I think the convenience of it as well. Because unlike weaves can be quite uncomfortable for some people. You chuck a wig on and you have variety. I think that's the thing people like. For myself anyway, variety. I can have, when I was younger, I had a new hairstyle probably every fortnight, and I'd go to work. They'd be like, "Oh my God, what have you done now?" I'm like, well, because I could, I was young and carefree.
But taking off a wig, like I would feel that if you were say I was, I don't know, my partner, I'd want to make sure my cornrows were like neat underneath if I'm going to be doing the wig life, because nothing worse I feel than taking off a wig and you're all like crackhead underneath it.
And you look like that got dry trash. Yes.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's not nice. You need to get your cornrows done properly. And plus, I'm not gluing any wigs to my head and my scalp. I've already got a big forehead. I'm not going to take my hair back again. Come on.
No, but whatever we wear, whatever style we were hearing, do black men tend to want to run their hands through our hair? Don't they know? If they're raised by a black woman, them hand not fasten around no head. Them know. They know what you touching. You put anything up there? What you touching?
And do you know
what to touch it?
And do you know what else I think as well? When they say things like natural, I think they like a relaxed hair, because yes, it's yours. And you can touch it. But there's nothing natural about relaxing your hair.
Thank you.
It's so hypocritical, isn't it?
It's might as well put wig on again. So back to the beginning.
The links to fibroids as well and the health conditions it causes black women. 100%. I used to relax my hair for years.
So did I.
I did about 5 years. I did.
But the scalp burn, come on, we all know that. I'll wash it out.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I've had scabs before.
Yeah.
Oh God.
There, sorry. Yeah, like if you
my God.
too long or
Again, nothing natural about that.
Nothing natural. You're better off having a natural hair, a crackhead style underneath, throwing on a wig. You know what I
There
mean?
you
That's
go.
if you have to. But I just have a thing about when your wig is taken off, because I think if I was to wear a lace front wig, and I would try it, of course I would. If I'm going to do a blonde Marilyn, I have to have a lace front. Let's be real. Can't have my hair on like this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I just wouldn't want the glue, because the glue would scare me. I wouldn't want to. I see these things on Instagram where someone takes off all their hair when it comes off in the wig. I don't want that. Scary. No thanks.
But it's not actually glue. What they use is not actually glue. It's gel. It's
gel. Some of the wigs they've said to glue it down.
But it's a gel like glue, but it peels off. It's literally like if a white person used it, you would be able to spike your hair up. So if you've ever seen a white person with a Mohican where it's spiked, that's what they use. It isn't. I mean, there was a woman, I think, I can't remember, social media. She had used Gorilla Glue.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Everybody knows about her.
No, she didn't die.
No, she didn't die.
She didn't die.
I thought it was something about her dying. Okay.
I don't think so. A doctor. Who was it? Some sort of
it's a black doctor, an African doctor, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. He found a solution to remove it. But I think you've got to be careful. But like I say, what people tend to use now, I think we've come a long way. It is literally, it's a really strong gel, but it isn't a glue. It's not something that doesn't remove itself.
Right.
Know? Yeah.
But she did that for the look, didn't she? To get that sleek bun, that sleek look.
That's ridiculous. Gorilla Glue is for wood. I mean, it is for wood. That is crazy.
That's true.
That is ridiculous.
Yes, it is for wood. And to hold furniture up on the wall.
Seriously. That's crazy. I mean, that was just really, really silly on her part. But I have seen some horror stories. I don't know what people use when it's just, like when the
I've seen it. I've seen them. They use it like Ghost Bond. I mean, I don't know because I've never worn a lace front wig, but that's the thing. I don't want to be so final that I've got some glue and I'm tearing off my edges, because I don't want to do that. I don't want any risk of that.
No, that's ridiculous. I don't know what that is that they've used to do that. Sometimes it's
wig glue, because they sell wig glue in the hair shop.
Yeah, and they do.
I bought a very, very expensive wig in lockdown when I couldn't get to the barbers. I think I paid £220 for this naturally curly hair wig. Kind of match my own curls. I've never worn it, because when my friend goes like, "Oh, you need wig glue," I was like, "Stop right there. Stop right there."
Can't you do the bands?
It's staying in the box.
I've got a band when I had a headband wig, but I've never had lace front.
Oh, I see what you mean. But the thing is, Sarah, I don't even like nothing on my head. I don't know why I bought it. It was lockdown madness. It made me so hot.
It would be hot. Just the thought of it, I think the thought of not being able to, I don't know, in a wig, I don't know. I mean, Karen, you tell us, you've worn a wig before, right? Have you worn a lace front before?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you glue? Was it glued on, or was it removable?
So to be fair, I never needed to glue it because I didn't do the whole baby hair thing. I didn't have to do that. But no, so I didn't have to do that. But when I did glue the front down, I used Got to Be glue. I'm not trying to advertise.
Okay, right, yes. Yeah.
I've seen those.
Yeah, so that's not glue. It is gel.
Yeah, that's it.
It's literally gel.
Okay.
And it does the same job, and it doesn't. To be fair, if you sweat a lot, it kind of starts to lift anyway. Yeah. I had no issues with it whatsoever, and it was strong enough to hold. But it is not a glue. That's why I'm saying I've tried it, and I've never used a wig glue. I've only ever used that gel, and it does the job. It comes in a gel and a spray, and that.
Can you take it off at night though? I'd want to take it off at night. That would annoy me. Can you take it off?
Because of course. Okay. And as long as my cornrows were.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yeah. See, I'm too easy to feel shame, One of the reasons I've not gotten with wigs is if it ever fall off in public.
Oh, can you imagine?
No, I couldn't call
off. Just be yanked off by a client.
Yeah.
I want to see you really are.
You can also sew yours on.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, so like if you were, say for example, if I was going somewhere and I might be sort of dancing rigorously Yeah, you can just put a couple of stitches in it, or there are ways, aren't there? I mean, there was a video, I don't know if you've seen it, there was a girl being interviewed and she was laughing and her wig fell behind the sofa.
Yes. And she went, oh my God.
But in fairness to her braids were neat and
They
tidy.
were.
Same thing.
But it was quite funny. But yeah, I mean, something like that, you could easily just put a couple of, stitches either side. That way that doesn't happen. Look, there are ways, there are methods, ladies.
Right. I like the idea of it. I like the idea of like a lace front wig for like an evening, because that's what I like, the kind of taking off and putting it on. But it's so expensive for my constant change of hairstyle. I just think it's like, and I see people in the same wig for years, and that also bothers me. I just think, where's the... I see it. I don't understand if someone's got the same wig on for 3 years running. That's like, have you not got any other wigs? Like, that's... That,
no, because they spent all their money on that one.
On that one wig.
But they might have, they might have more than one of the same thing, because if you that, they might have more than the one, and you can wash them.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
They can be washed.
Yeah. Sarah, you touched a very important point. How much is all this here that we're being shamed for costs?
I mean,
my barber is £15.
That's a bargain.
Yes, I know. How much are we shelling out to our hairdressers for our looks?
About £70 it cost me, between 65 and 70 odd pounds for the weave, and I brought my own hair in. I've never bought... I had a headband wig that's a short one that I don't know how much I paid for. Not that much, because it was quite short. But I've never bought a lace front. But when I look on, online at these amazing wigs, because I'd want at least 26 inches here, to be real.
Of course.
We're looking about, like you said, Kay, we're looking about £250 upwards. I saw a thing on Instagram the other day, a meme about a lady saying, right, I want another wig. And then she was taking feet pictures and selling them online. She said she wanted another wig so bad, that's how she got her money. That was like meant to be a joke thing, but it was a kind of tongue-in-cheek, like, wow, really? Because what you'll do to get another wig.
Yeah.
But then you sit in the wig, and it's probably heavy. I don't know. I'm not sure, ladies, what I think about that. Don't know.
Look, for me, hair is like anything else. It's maintenance, right? Yeah. So whether I am going to have, even if I had locks. Two of my sisters have got locks, beautiful locks, and they go to the hairdressers and they have them, I don't know what they do, like twist them
retwisted and washed. And
that's also expensive, ridiculously expensive.
And that's not cheap either. What I'm saying is, for me, it is just maintenance, whether I had locks, whether I had my natural hair put into Ghana braids, whether I had whatever it is, I am going to maintain my looks as much as I physically can, and as far as my purse will allow, because that's important to me. It'd be like buying clothes or making sure that I've got cream for my body, or I like perfume, whatever it is that I need to make myself feel good and maintain myself, I'll spend money on it. And everybody spends money on different things, which is why I don't feel bad. I mean, I am quite, I shop around, right? So what you were talking about, the amount of money that you saw wigs advertised for, I shop around. So I've been able to source, hair for a lot less than that. Depends where you go, where you shop online, recommendations, all that sort of stuff. But I'm not ashamed of it, because it's like, I don't smoke cigarettes. For someone else, they spend a fortune on smoking cigarettes. It's up to them. I'm not criticizing them. You want to spend 20 quid a packet, whatever.
Absolutely.
That's your thing, isn't it? Right? Some people like to drink alcohol. Some people, whatever it is that you do for yourself, this is what I do.
But would you feel, Karen, would you feel okay spending £250, £300 on a wig
that you don't wear?
But I wouldn't need to. That's what I'm saying. I've never spent that amount, and I've been able to source really, good ones.
I'm talking about like a 26-inch wig, like a down to you.
But I wouldn't wear a 26-inch wig.
Okay.
Why not?
That's not my aesthetic.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Like 26 is, that's. For me.
22 at them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for me. But then that's a personal choice, isn't it? So like Sarah would like it really, really long. Mine is I kind of tend to go for shoulder length because
that's what I've got now, but I feel it's not long enough now. No, not long enough. But at the same time, I'm not going to pay 250, 300 pounds. So let's just see what I can do. I'm making.
I probably should resell that wig.
You should, never wore it. You should resell the wig. It's
natural hair. I never did. It's too hot. I don't know what I was thinking.
Why don't you sell it and buy something else with it you want?
Yeah, I probably should do. Could do that actually. The one time I have natural hair also that I had a weave, and I love the weave and I look gorgeous with it, but it terrorized my scalp. So it had to come out. No matter how much we washed it before, my scalp just reacted really badly. But other than that, I think I look stupid with long hair. It's just, I look in the mirror and I don't know who I'm looking at.
I like that picture of you, though. I like that
with the weave.
Yeah, it was nice.
I do like that weave, and I would wear it more often if my scalp would behave itself, but it will not. It will tolerate braids, but not a weave. Anything to sew on.
Really, I'm surprised because braids sometimes really irritate my scalp. Braids can really irritate me.
I'm cool with braids.
What about the crochet locks? What was that?
The crochet locks, love them. Fabulous. They're fine. Yeah.
No
more than usual, not at all. Slap your head a few times, all gone.
Yeah, love that.
You know, that knock we all do. And what about hairdressers, ladies? Do we cheat on our hairdressers and go to the cheapest ones? Or do you have a hairdresser you stick with because you know they're going to make you look fabulous?
I go different places depending on what I want. So if I'm going to have braids, there is a woman who is Nigerian who braids really, really well. And I probably wouldn't go to a shop for braids because I think that it's more expensive because it's a shop. I think that they won't take the time. You know, this lady can say, hold on a minute, I'm just going to cook my kids some food. I'll be back in a minute.
Right.
But I know when she comes back, it's good, you know, like she's going to do a good job. Whereas in the shop, I think they have to rush, don't they? Because they're trying to, you know, keep appointments, blah, blah, blah. So I wouldn't go to a hair shop for that. But if I wanted a weave, there is a shop I go to. And what else could I have? I don't know. Yeah, so it just depends on. I used to have, I shall show you a picture, ladies. Really short, like a pixie short.
Ooh.
Yeah, I loved my pixie cut. I loved it. It was relaxed, have to say.
Right.
But it was like a real Halle Berry type.
Oh, I'd love to see that, Karen.
Yeah, I'll have to send you. I'll send you the picture. But I loved it. That's probably one of my favorite hairstyles. And if I could relax my hair, I probably would have that again because I loved that kind of short crop hair. But relaxer for me, it just breaks my hair. My hair is not to be relaxed. I lost a lot of hair from that. So I now have my hair natural, basically. So yes, I cheat on my hairdresser depending on what I need. Yeah.
How about you, Sarah? Do you?
Well, for me, I've only just kind of recently started really going to hairdressers again. During lockdown, obviously no one was open, but I've done my own hair for quite a while, bits and bobs. So I didn't really have the money before. So now, I don't know. I think I a bit like Karen, I want to go kind of try out different people for different things. So when it comes to like crochet styles, I just do that myself. I couldn't do crochet locks like you have, Kay. I'd need to go somewhere to get that done. But when it comes to like crochet braids, do it myself. It's easy to do crochet braids.
Wow.
Those crochet styles are very easy to do, as long as you can kind of plait your hair back generally. It doesn't even need to be neat because you don't see what's underneath. But weaves, no, I'm not going to attempt to do my own weave because I just feel like I couldn't. I could do it, but I don't think I'd walk around with it. Whereas crochet is easy to just make it look neat. So yeah, I want to kind of look around for some, I go to one place I've been that Karen goes to get my weave, and then I've been to somewhere else also to get a different weave. Braids, I don't know. I think braids, again, like Karen said, I think I'd probably go to my African stylist to do stuff like that. When it comes to my daughter's hair, I just want to go somewhere that they look after her hair, don't rush her hair. and it's not painful for her. So I shall be taking my daughter into the place I last got the weave. But yeah, I don't think it's a problem to kind of supposedly cheat on your hairdresser, because I haven't been anywhere long enough to cheat, if that makes sense. I'm still finding my feet when it comes to hairdressers. But yeah, I think I'm spending my money. It's my money. You know, I shall spend it where I want to spend it. That's kind of the way I see it. So yeah.
Yeah. When I had hair to cut, and I would only ever go to one place. Shout out to Esther. 22 years now she's been cutting my hair. My daughter's hair. She did my son's hair for years. I wouldn't trust anybody with the scissors in my hair, because I have curly hair, and my God, I have come away with some looks sometimes, and I've cheated on her 6 different lengths. Oh my God, traumatized. So I wouldn't trust anybody to cut my hair but Esther. When it comes to braids, yeah, I'm willing to try different places, because I think you can't really go wrong with braids. You can't go far wrong. Nah, you can't. But barbering, I stick with my barber. Your mic's muted, Karen.
Oh, I was going to say, I have to beg to differ.
Really?
Absolutely.
Go on.
Braids can go horribly, horribly wrong. Definitely. They can be uneven.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
You have to know how to pick the hair. If you haven't got pre-stretched, bad picking will not do.
Really? See, that sounds like a technical term.
Absolutely.
I must clearly go to good places then, because I've never even had to think about that.
Yes, because my children have their hair braided, and this is something that we do terminally, so I know all about regular braiding.
Right.
So yes, needs, So if it's not pre-stretched, you have to pick it, and only certain people can pick it. I used to braid my children's hair myself, but when they got to a certain age, they were like, "Mum, can we just go to the hairdressers?"
Yeah. It's true though. Even my daughter now. I mean, if it comes to like a natural style, hair in a bun or bunches and stuff, I can do that. When it comes to like plaits and stuff, no, I'm taking it to the hairdressers, because it's getting to that stage now where, you know, I don't want her to get bullied because, you know, her hair looks just been freshly done and it already looking like picky, and, you know, no.
I think it's nice though for girls to have an experience of going to the hairdressers and being looked after.
I do.
It's something my daughter and I always did and still do, because I want her to also value her hair, whatever state it is in. And like you said, Sarah, as long as your hair is in good condition, you can do whatever you like with it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think it's nice for our daughters to have that experience of getting their hair done.
Absolutely. And I'm really lucky. My children have hair that they can manage on their own. It's because I think for me growing up, my hair texture was very coarse, as I've said before, and it was very difficult for me to manage that. And my mum couldn't braid, so I went to school with bed plaits, we call them.
Oh, the doodle plaits. Oh my!
Yes, exactly. When I was this is primary school. That was So yeah, my poor mum, bless her, she just couldn't do it. So I learned to cane my children's hair, so I could, you know, cane their natural hair. I couldn't do extensions, but their own hair.
Yeah.
And it was neat and tidy and stuff. But like I say, as they got older, they wanted more sort of complex styles and things. So yeah, I have taken to the hairdressers. But it's really, it's important. I want them to go to school looking really neat and tidy. And they take pride in their hair and things. There's nothing worse, is it, than I don't like to see girls at school where their, you know, braids have not been looked after. Obviously, it comes to the end of term, and yes.
Oh, Carol, I'm saying Naya's hair needs doing. It's got a week to go. And, you know, I just thought there's not much we can do. If I take it out now, it's just like, no, let's just keep it in, you know, and then we can take it out as soon as you finish, and then we can have it all fresh for Christmas. And it'll be great if we go out, you know what I mean? So, but right now, it's not looking the best. No.
I don't like to see school children in weaves. I hate it.
Oh, no, kids shouldn't have weaves. Hello? What?
I have seen lots of year 7s and year 8s with weaves. I kid you not, I don't like to see it.
I kid you not. When my eldest was at primary school, in year 3, I kid you, if she was here now, I tell you what, she'd be in fits, because when she remembers that.
Year 3, you're about 7 or 8.
Was in year 3, and she had My daughter said, she was like, Mum, her weave is the same as her mum's. Like, they came like matching weaves. We were like,
God have mercy.
I'm telling you.
No.
No.
I kid you not. A full-blown weave.
At
And yes,
8?
we are
7 or 8?
seriously. And I think it's so tight as well. Like, why would you put that?
Dear.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Could you not?
No.
Seriously. Yeah.
I don't even like to see secondary school kids with it in. I think that's something for a woman.
Well, they wear lace fronts in some schools. I've seen.
That's true. Yeah, in my last school they did. The people had lace fronts on, yeah.
Wow.
And I think how inconvenient for things like PE. How does...
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. It's
it's not right.
No, sorry.
And I think
it's for an adult.
School, no.
Yeah. I say to my children, you know, when you're adult,
fine,
you can do what you like, but not for school.
No. Not a lace front for school. No, I'm not doing that.
Can you imagine who's maintaining that as well? I'd rather pay for a tutor, make sure you get some good grades. You're not having a lace front. You can do well.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh, a lot. Yeah. So what's the look for Christmas, ladies? Are we changing our hair up?
I'm having a pony. I'm rather liking my pony.
You look so young. You look so young with your pony.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? It sort of lifts my face. I feel quite young.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. I don't know. I think I have to think. I would like to still have weave, but I do like it to be a bit longer. Now, I've got some clip-ins, but I do want. I do want more length. Put it that way.
You do rock a long hair, Sarah. It suits you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. A bit like Karen had. I have had short hair before, but like not a pixie cut because I don't think that would suit me. But I have had kind of jawline hair, but again it was relaxed.
Yeah,
it was relaxed and it was honey blonde highlights, and I absolutely loved it.
Oh wow,
but,
sounds good.
And it was kind of short at the back, but yeah, I'm not relaxing my hair again as long as I shall live, ever.
Same.
The only way I could ever achieve that look would be by a lace front, wouldn't it? So
yeah, that's right. By a lace, or you have a 26-inch Peruvian or something. I think you would totally rock it.
But I just it's the same thing as I need 4 new dining chairs from the dining table, and the kind of ones I want are 350 each. I'm not paying £350, so I'm waiting on Facebook Marketplace. I will not pay it for one chair. You blooming kidding me? So that's what I feel about wigs.
Right.
I'm not paying it. I won't. I won't pay for Oak Furniture Lands, and I will not pay Eunice hair.
Right.
£350.
Let me ask you a question. I know you want to tell us what you're going to have for your hair for Christmas, but before I ask you that, what would you spend on yourself? Or what's the most expensive thing that you would buy for yourself? And I don't mean a house or a car. I mean, in terms of your aesthetics, whether it's clothes, shoes, perfume, bags, whatever it is. What's the most amount of money you've ever spent on an item or something for yourself?
It's probably that wig that I don't wear.
Really?
And I wish I had bought jewelry because I totally adore jewelry, and I would love to have a diamond somewhere in any of my 7 piercings, but or as a bracelet. But there you go. It's in a wig box. That's probably the most I've spent because I'm not a shoe person or a handbag person or a designer gear person. That's not a bit of me. £15 handbag, that'll do me.
Okay.
I'm saying £15 maximum. It's like shoes.
Yeah.
So what have you spent? What's the most you spent on yourself, Sarah, in terms of, an item or hair or something like that?
See, hair, I don't go crazy. So I spend money like what? I think most I've probably spent on hair realistically is for about £100 something when I've had like a trim or had a treatment and had the weave. As I said, I do my own crochet hair. I don't occasionally get braids. That's normally summertime for I'm going on holiday. Not much. I'd probably say not really much. I mean, I do like perfume. I do love perfume. But again, I'm not really spending any more than, say, Well, let's be real. I'd rather try and get some perfume for my birthday from people that love me. And I use those perfumes throughout the rest of the year. And then the perfumes I buy, I'll get them up. I'll source them hours online to get a good discount. And the most I'd ever spend is like £35-40. So not that much, you know. Not, I'd say maximum, Karen, £100 maximum.
You've never spent more than £100 on any of your weaves to buy the hair and get it done?
No, because I've not had that really, really long hair. The longest hair I've ever had is what I've got in now. It's about 18-inch.
Well, that is long. But
the hair itself, the bundle, I only had one bundle of hair, and the bundle itself was 70. So then the plaiting of it, I wash my own hair, so just plait it and put it in.
But how much? So what do you pay the hairdresser to do it then? Or
That's
did
what
you
I'm
do
saying.
it yourself?
Yeah, I'm paying the hair. If I'm 70 for the hair,
right,
and then I've already come with it washed, haven't I? So she's just plaiting it. So that's what, 25, I think it is for cornrows. And putting the hair in. So maybe what, 120? 120?
Okay, that's I would say that's about right.
Yeah. So I think the most was when I was younger, I used to get my hair relaxed. Can't remember how much it used to be, but I went to this place in Brixton, and this guy did it, and it was very, very posh, this hairdresser. You got wine and everything. It was great. So Andre Pierre, that's what it's called, if they're still around. Really, really good, Andre Pierre. So my hair was relaxed, and then I get a weave. And then also I'd ask this guy, Andre, I'd say, I'd want honey blonde. So he'd dye my natural hair, my relaxed hair would be dyed then. So this is the time I had no kids, no responsibilities. All I had to pay for is my own rent and myself. That was it. So I spent a lot of money on myself. So my hair was relaxed, then it was dyed, then I'd have a weave in, and then I'd have my acrylics done, and I'd have them done every week and a half. And I'd buy handbags, and I'd buy apple bottom jeans and all that stuff. So I think then, in answer to your question, Karen, then I'd spend more money on myself in that kind of situation if I was having dyed hair, relaxed hair, and weave on. Yeah. So,
I guess children put a stop to all this, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And how about you, Karen? What's your biggest splurge on yourself?
Yes.
I don't know, because
Yes,
I like perfume, I like clothes, I like shoes, I like handbags, I like doing my nails.
But you're quite good with nails, because when I get my nails done next week, I want acrylics. So, but you go with gels. I
just have gels. I have had acrylics, but I tend to just have gel.
Yeah,
I just have a gel polish, but I do like to do my toes and my fingernails.
Okay.
I mean, toes tend to last quite a long time, don't they? Because they don't tick when you grow up, don't they? But I don't know But the thing is, I've got a friend who, you know, she might spend £300 on a coat if she really likes it, and sometimes I think, oh gosh, that's really costly. But then I suppose it's personal choice, isn't it? So if you can afford it, and it's the fruits of your labour, isn't it? So
I would, if I could afford to spend that on myself. But with my current commitments, that would give me a nervous breakdown. I would probably be considered mad if I were to spend that on a coat right now.
£300 on a coat. I think even though everyone's different, aren't they? Because I mean, I think if money wasn't an option, wasn't a problem, I would probably I'm more likely to spend that in the hairdressers on nails and hair than I was on a coat. I can't see myself or makeup. I don't really care for makeup. Like, I like makeup, but at the same time, if I can, as long as I've got the right shade of foundation, I'll happily go and get the cheapest possible eyebrow pencil and, you know, and eyeliner and eyeshadow. I don't care. Like, I'm not fussed about, is it MAC? I don't care if it's MAC. As long as it stays in my face and looks good. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I guess the thing about that, though, that's to do with like skincare, whether it's kind to your skin, whether it's, the pigmentation's good. I guess I quite like Fenty.
I agree. If it's the wrong colour, that's the problem. But I always make sure always have decent foundation. But I'm just saying to you, does it matter if I've got an eyebrow pencil from, I don't know, this place or that place?
But I think, foundation should be quite.
Oh, foundation you need to be careful with. Yeah,
like you want to have
those people with different, like, saucer faces, different colour faces in their necks.
Saucer face.
seen it too often.
That's so funny.
It is.
I will spend a lot on lipstick. I don't think
you
I
love
have a
yeah,
lipstick
lipstick's
budget.
You are a lipstick
I
queen.
don't have a lipstick budget. If I want it and it's the right color, I'm having it.
Okay. What's the most expensive lipstick you've ever bought?
Probably years ago when I was before children, BC, when I was using Lancome products on my skin. Yeah, about £25. And we're going back to my son was born 99. So yeah, you're going back to the 90s. So that was hella expensive then, but I liked it.
Very.
Why not? Why not? And
Before children, all is possible. Thank you. Now I'm going to £10, 15 at the most.
Oh.
But if there were to be, say, a Sephora in England, yeah, it would be game over. Because I would just spend. Sephora, a makeup store that's in America.
I think I've heard of it.
Pays that they have. Oh my life. I just wire them my salary. Bank transfer.
That's what I felt about Bath and Body Works, Kay, the other day. I thought, let me just hand over everything I have.
Yeah, take my money.
Yeah. Oh, let me have everything in this whole place.
Yeah.
So what hairstyle are you having for Christmas then, Kay?
It will be blonde. And for the first time in 23 years, I'm doing it myself. I feel completely distraught because I don't ever color my own hair. No, that's what my hairdresser's for.
So why are you doing it
myself?
Why have you chosen to do it yourself?
Cost of living crisis.
Okay.
Because our prime minister is a dick, and the rest before him. So now we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
So blonde, are you going to get your daughter to do it?
Because my hair is so short, no, I'm just going to put gloves on, do it all over. Then I have a toner as well to take the yellow out and make it lighter and see where I go from there. And if I hate it, I'll just go to the barbers and shave it off again.
I think it'd be lovely though. I think blonde will look really nice on you.
Peroxide, you're going to peroxide it? Or you
Yeah, peroxide.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Do that.
I've done that so many times over the years, peroxide. It does suit me.
Yeah, of course it will. Red lips as well.
Absolutely, and big hoops.
Of course. Has to be.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Anyway, so ladies.
Yes.
I've enjoyed chatting with you as always. So you can find us on Beautifully Melanated Podcast.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
We're also on YouTube. And how else can the listeners find us, ladies?
Email beautifully melanated podcast @gmail.com.
Yep, that's the one. And Instagram, Beautifully Melanated Podcast.
Yeah, hey Karen.
I'm getting there.
You've overcome your fear. But yes, we'd love to have some reader letters to read out. So if you have any feedback, please drop us a line, let us know.
Definitely. And your thoughts about hair, it's so subjective. So any listeners' thoughts about hair, any agreements or disagreements you have about our conversation, please feel free to drop us a line as well about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Beautifully.